Leo. Welcome to the last bit of November 2019. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and get into your reading. Show me energy present for the sign of Leo, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, so you have the Nine of Wands here. This is about boundaries, feeling like you need to protect yourself, being tired of a situation, but still continuing to have the strength to go on further with it. It can also talk about being defensive. Lots of things with that card. Talk about protecting yourself too. Three of Cups. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. Sorry if I'm coughing. I just am. You guys are going to have to deal with it. My apologies. Yeah, connections, people who feel good to you. It can talk about third parties, but oftentimes it's about celebration, going out with people who you like. Let's continue on. You have the Magician in reverse. I'm just going to pull your cards and then we will get into the reading. Eight of Wands. Judgment in reverse. The Knight of Wands. Yeah, okay. And then here we go, the Hangman at the bottom of the deck. So, pardon me. First of all, I feel it's like insistent in my head to talk about singles. If you're single, I don't know if you're out and about doing your thing as far as like clubbing, partying, going out to dinners, going out to gatherings with people who, you know, and you're meeting others through those types of connections. But it feels like here for the singles, some of you may need to be a little bit more cautious about somebody who's coming towards you. Could be an Aries, Scorpio. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to cough in your ear. I have water. Yeah, I would say be careful about that type of connection. It seems like somebody here is a bit reckless, just kind of in it to hit it, not something that's going to lead to longevity. You may want to wait. I think some of you also will basically just kind of be observing this person, but you kind of have your feelers out and your shield up, your guard up. I guess I would say for the singles that are out and, looking to meet somebody, be careful about those who kind of come off as extremely suave, extremely genteel, extremely impressive, whatever it is. It's somebody who, if this person is talking about themselves to no end, they're building themselves up to impress you, be careful about that, okay? My God. Fuck a duck. Yeah, that's kind of the message I have for the singles. Do I need to stop there? Yeah, I do need to stop there. Okay. Show me energy for Leo couples, please. You have the Six of Wands. Wheel of Fortune. Two of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. The World. God, come on. You have the Empress. Queen of Wands. Page of Cups. Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to turn this overhead light off so you're not getting a ton of glare. I hope that's bright enough for you guys and you can see these cards from there. For the coupled Leos, I would say definitely it seems like you're moving forward towards a pretty significant change in your life right now with your partner as a couple in a very positive way. It feels like you may have opportunities to look over things to kind of assess as far as what your next logical, logistical situation would be. I don't know what that is. Some of it's moving in together. Some of it is figuring out which job is going to be the best possible situation for you and your family. Some of you, that's going to require you to consider moving. Some of you, that's going to be a situation where you may be moving to a different state, different county, different country. Depending upon what you want to do. And I think for the person that may be moving, the thing to consider is what works for your family best, of course, what works for you and your partner best, of course, but also there's something about the job itself and it needs to provide you with the, I guess it's kind of a weird one. It's like that stability within camaraderie, that comfortable connection with people. And of course you will get to know that as you go along, but you need that initially. I don't know, there has to be some sort of like connection factor here for you, Leo, in regard to that, just because that's going to be a very important piece of this. And of course, everybody wants to get along with whomever they work with, but a lot of people get into jobs because it's going to pay me the most and it's going to give the best benefits, even though I may hate it, or, the people that work here seem totally dead inside, but it makes great money. It's not about that. It's about not engaging in soul sucking situations any longer or at all. There's something about really you bringing a light to this connection as far as work is concerned. And I know some of you may not be dealing with this, but for those of you who are dealing with a work situation, there's something about bringing your light, bringing your suggestions, bringing your kind of zip and zeal about it that kind of creates a different change in understanding, and people seem to follow suit here. With the World, the Empress, the Queen of Wands, and Page of Cups, some of you, this may be a situation where you're needing to move forward into a different situation because some of you are pregnant or you have pregnant partners, and this is really about kind of fine-tuning what you need in your life right now, what makes the cut, what doesn't make the cut, what you move forward to is what you don't, and again, we have travel highlighted here. World travel, connections with people who are foreign to you, cycles. But this is about new beginnings, stability, bringing forward, kind of like highlighting new talents that you may have like had, or talents of your own that may have been like dormant or you haven't been able to express fully. Something about that is like coming to the forefront now. With the Page of Cups, the Page of Wands, I feel like this is also, if you are expecting, you have the potential for that. There's potential for twins. I know that a lot of people will be like, what the fuck? Somebody, that may be for somebody. That's kind of that I'm getting right there. But it's communication also in regard to what works best for the mother, what works best for both parties, and what actually, how do I say that? Hang on one second. Hang on. So what I'm picking up is that one party, if there is a pregnancy, I don't know why this would be this way, because usually people like to work throughout their pregnancy a lot of the time, but for some reason that may be cut short, not in a negative way, but like it gives the mother more time to just do what she needs to do to acclimate to the pregnancy, to acclimate the home, whatever it is. It's almost like needing to take some time for yourself before, the full, I don't know, it's like leaving work earlier than, wow, that is so confusing. Why is that? Hang on, I'm sorry. I don't understand those pictures. I don't understand what I'm being shown right now, so I'm going to have to just let that go. Yeah, this is about movement forward, new progression within your relationship, new directions. Not everybody's pregnant, I understand that, but whatever's going on, there is a connection here. People coming together to work in tandem with each other, making room for new spaces, making room for new possibilities. Yeah, let's go ahead and clarify this reading for you. Show me the Six of Wands. So for the Six of Wands, you have Judgment here. Now, with Judgment, this is most definitely about if you do need to move, if you do... I'm feeling movement. Like, I understand this is about recognition and, being, basically seen for your efforts, which is definitely important. But I think this is also kind of putting your ducks in a row, like making sure everything is ready, which is kind of gearing you up towards a successful move. It's going to be a progression, as everything is. It's going to be slow and steady, and I think it's going to basically require you to commit to one idea. It feels like you've got a lot of ideas in regard to what you can do, what you want to do. We need to pick something that's going to be stable, but we also need to pick something that's not going to be soul-sucking, something where you're not just another cog in the wheel. Show me the Wheel of Fortune. So you have the King of Wands and the Four of Wands coming out in reverse, with the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. For those of you who are considering moving, and you don't have to move like across, the planet, but whatever it is, if you're relocating, if a partner is needing to go back and forth, there's something there where it's a little bit unsettling, it's uncertain. With the Wheel of Fortune here and the King of Wands, it's like we're needing to be standing in our power, standing in our strength, being very open for what life throws at us. It feels like with the Four of Wands in reverse, this is basically what I'm feeling is like leaving one place to go to another, or leaving the home situation, which may cause some topsy-turvy energy. But it doesn't mean you're not going to be back. It just means this is going to you're going to have to acclimate to it. There's going to be some changes that essentially will be coming through that need to be assessed and understood and just kind of accepted. You need to talk about it, though, with each other. Okay, show me the Two of Pentacles here for Leo. So you have the King of Cups coming out in reverse. Sorry. The King of Cups in reverse is somebody who, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, but it's basically somebody who, if this is a boss, it's somebody who can be kind of manipulative in the way that they direct things. They catch you off guard. They're not upfront about a lot of things. They'll use your work and not, give you credit. It's also being around people who are essentially, they can be alcoholics. They can be somebody who just has a very difficult time hiding their feelings. This could be somebody not certain about what they feel in regard to both potentials, as far as like you have two potentials for a job, two living spaces. There's that energy. I'm going to pull one more for the King of Cups in reverse. For the Two of Pentacles, show me the King of Cups in reverse. So you have the Four of Cups. So if this is a boss, it's basically saying goodbye. I don't need that type of energy. I have new things to go on with. If it's somebody that you're needing to cut out of your life for whatever reasons, if they're manipulative, if they, don't treat you well, hide their feelings, hide their emotions, kind of sabotage your situation, then that is essentially letting that person go. It's not wanting to connect with them, not wanting to communicate. You have, sorry, God, I'm dropping cards now. Give me a second. You have this Three of Pentacles. So it's like whatever the situation of, I guess, frustration where you're kind of butting heads with somebody, or the situation, the King of Cups also doesn't have to just mean a person. You can talk about a situation, but it's basically something that is not cohesive with what you need to do. With the Two of Pentacles here, this is having back and forth thoughts about something. It's juggling two potentials. The Three of Pentacles is where we're headed, and that is basically where we are working in tandem with people, working in connection with people who want to work with us, who we have the same ideas, or at least we can implement and bounce new ideas off of each other for the better and greater good of all. Show me the Three of Pentacles here for Leo couples. Yeah, it's something with the Ace of Cups there. It's something that feels really good. It feels like it's a it's something that you love to do. Okay, so whatever you're getting into, even if you're not getting into a job, the connection that is being built with you and your partner, there is a wealth of love. There's a wealth of healing opportunity, just to be yourselves, you know, and love each other. If it's a job situation that you're getting involved with, it's something that you're going to love to do. Or you're looking at something and saying, God, I think I would really love to do that. You know, it feeds your soul. It feeds you on multiple levels where maybe something that you were involved with before does not. And if you are currently in a job where you're unhappy, it may be time to consider this type of shift. Okay, Leo? So show me the world here. So the world, you have the Fool coming out in reverse. And you have the Nine of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Now, what I'm feeling here is that whatever is changing, you're being incredibly cautious in regard to how you go about it. One thing about the world is, a big thing about the world, it's about transformation. It's about change. It's basically, we're allowing phases of our lives to come to an end. It's like these cycles that we've spent a lot of time in, or a little time. It doesn't, each lesson is different, but they're monumental lessons. They're things that really change our perception in life, our understanding of who we are, what we want in our lives, where we're going, you know. With the Fool in reverse, this can talk about restless energy, not being committed to a project, like not being, you know, it's going into situations where you just kind of go willy-nilly. There's really not much thought in there. And I think with this Nine of Wands at the bottom of the deck, this, Leo, is basically where we need to be very conscious of this type of energy. And I think here too, with the World and the Fool in reverse, this is kind of a call to, you know, it's like you understand if you fuck up, you know, and you keep, I guess, like doing some of the same shit that you've done forever, these things that we sabotage ourselves with, the, you know, the types of behavior that essentially gets in our way. It doesn't allow us to achieve what we want. You know, it's self-sabotatory behavior. This is calling for a closing of this. This is lifelong lessons here. And this most definitely is being highlighted to be at a close. So the Fool being reckless, you know, kind of jumping in and not really caring where things fall, just kind of doing things for yourself and not really regarding those that you are with. I think that it's kind of like a growing up phase. And if you have a child on the way, if this is for that, you need to get out of this. This is not going to serve any of this moving forward. And that's why it's under the World. It's to let this go. It's to release that. And she's looking right here at the Three of Pentacles. This is basically where we start to work with others in tandem. We start to go with the goal of success, and we're on board with things with other people. Show me the Empress here for Leo. So the Empress, you have the Page of Swords. Again, child energy. So you've got three pages here: Page of Wands, Page of Cups, Page of Swords. Again, like I said, childhood energy, energy of children. I don't know if this is already a situation with a family that's already established and things are changing, things are moving, and you may have three children. It doesn't have to mean children, though. The Page of Swords is about study. It's about logic. It's getting your information straight. It can talk about blunt communication. You know, it can talk about needing more communication, needing more facts, understanding the whole of it all. With the Empress, What are we needing to study? What are we needing to get under our belt so we can achieve the most within our life? And I don't just mean on a job related successful path like that, not like just job related. But where in your life can you improve? Where can you, again, decrease some of this negative energy, this reckless, self-sabotatory energy, okay? Are you spending too much on whatever? Are you overeating? Are you doing things? Are you hanging out with people that aren't healthy for you? You know, what are your social circles like? Do you, oh God, people are probably gonna get pissed off if I say this. Are you like a fan and hardcore follower of like, you know, desperate housewives of whatever the fuck? Like, I'm saying that because when you watch that type of stuff, it's all scripted. It's all fake. It's all scripted. There's nothing reality about that. But it carries a huge vibration, okay? It carries a huge vibration, and there's a lot of ugliness. I know it's a show about, like, you know, being as catty as you can be and just being as ridiculous as you can be, but there's a negative energy that really resonates with that show and a lot of other shows like that. You know, they're fake. They tell you that you need to attain this and that. You need to look a certain way. You know, you're trash if you're not this. You're poor and disgusting, and you know, what a peasant. Like, that is so sad. Don't put that shit into your system. Don't watch that kind of stuff. You can watch whatever you want, but like, this is a big hit that's coming to me. What can you remove from your life? It's kind of like studying yourself, studying your patterns and your habits. What can you remove from your life so that you can actually step into this role? If you are pregnant, what can you remove from your life so you don't have those types of negative bonds and the energy's not conflicted with bringing a child into the world? Children need light. Children need high energy. Children need love. You know, a lot of the times when we deal with pregnancy, there's postpartum depression. There's a lot of things. If you're watching that kind of stuff, it sends terrible messages to the brain. You know, be careful about the information that you accept into your world. Really weird message right there, but that's literally what I had to tell you. Show me the Queen of Wands. Okay, so for the Queen of Wands, you have the Six of Pentacles here, as well as the Queen of Swords, okay? So with the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords with the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands is basically energy where we feel beautiful, we feel radiant, we feel good about ourselves, we feel very much in tandem with this Empress energy, new beginnings, going after what we want, like having like that magical flow that just really makes us go. It just feels like this symbiotic experience that we are enjoying. It's an enjoyable energy. She's about moving forward in your life, being happy, being gracious, being grateful, showing connection with others, being honest, working as hard as everybody else, sometimes even harder. She has a great zeal for life, and she's excited to experience life for what it has. Some of you are excited to experience pregnancy and childbirth and all of that whole motherhood aspect of your life with great reverence. There's something very beautiful about that. I know not everybody's pregnant, but for that piece there, I do want to mention that. This is about equal give and take, fairness, what works for you, what works for your partners, what works for your children. With the Queen of Swords here, this is essentially talking about, you know, where we need to cut problems out of our lives, simplify our lives. I'm feeling like a very essential need for simplification. And this goes for all Leos. A necessity for simplification in your life. I'm not talking about like, you know, throwing all your stuff away and becoming a monk or a nun. But what I am saying is that it's kind of like that Desperate Housewife stuff, like reduce that type of shit. You know, if you eat a bag of Cheetos and McDonald's once every day, you know, maybe try just the Cheetos, you know, or like slowly weed things out that are not healthy for you, whether they be visual, the things that you watch and listen to, whether they be food, drink, you know, whether they be the company that we hang out with, sometimes even the people that we love, our family members, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, you know, best friends, they can be terribly negative sometimes. It doesn't mean you don't love them, but if you feel like this kind of All right, I have to sit through this, or I have to experience this to be with you, but I love you, so I'll do it. If you're having that kind of thought, it's time to take yourself back. It's time to figure out the situation. And some of you may have to have conversations with that type of person. These are harsh conversations with people of that nature, cutting that type of energy out, but also stating what you require, what you will and will not deal with. I've had to do that with friends before. And that's hard. And sometimes I lose them. And sometimes it changes the dynamic to a positive situation, which is great. And we start off on a new foot. But sometimes you end up losing people because they feel judged. They feel like you don't like them anymore. They feel whatever the fuck. But it's really about you, as your life is, And I'll be honest, I don't feel like there's like I don't know. I don't feel like there's somebody who's like waiting in the wings, some sort of third party situation. That's not what I'm feeling here. I don't feel like there's like multiple people being given to with the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. I feel like this is energy that you're embodying right now, Leo. Show me the Page of Cups. So you have the Moon here for the Page of Cups. Now, first of all, with children, this is about cycles, waiting it out, just essentially cycles within children, months, 9 months, whatever it is. I don't know if that's what's going on for you or not, but it's about this gestation period, the Empress, the Queen of Wands, the Page of Cups, the Moon. It's all about like, especially these two, it's like gestation periods of change, things that are going to take time, cycles that are happening, but for your benefit, not everybody's certain about the outcome. This could also be like as simple as, I don't know if I'm having a boy, I don't know if I'm having a girl, whatever it could be. But I think whatever it is, it's like the Moon talks about emotional confusion. It talks about things that are not being seen 100%. It can speak of deception and lies, but that's not always the case. The Moon is a very beautiful card. The Moon teaches us to get in touch with ourselves when we are uncertain. If you're having to move and shift your life around for whatever reason, it feels like there's a shift and a prominent change coming. Interesting. Six of Swords and the Star throwing themselves out after I chopstick them over. This is about movement again, possibly moving, literally leaving areas, going to different places, leaving situations that have not been healthy for you, that have not been reciprocal in whatever way. It doesn't necessarily just have to mean your partner, but like life situations, job situations, and going towards what feels best for you. This is positivity. The Six of Wands, the Star, you have a lot of very, very positive cards here, Leo. Very heavy hitting cards of movement, of change, acceptance, understanding, and, new understanding of yourself, understanding where maybe we need to heal some of those situations from our childhood or previous experiences with internal wounding, so we're no longer reckless, so we're not bringing children into a situation where we act without regard, or we're just self-sabotatory. It's kind of about growing up, okay? And that's, a lot of people are like, well, I'm already grown up, fuck you. All right, well, fuck me too, like whatever. But we have to grow up. We're constantly growing up. Until we die, we're growing up, Like that's just how it is. You never stop learning. And I hope you never stop learning about yourself. Ever stop learning about yourself. Don't do it. That would be a very, very sad day. So let's go ahead. Do I need to clarify anything else? Give me one more for the Moon. Okay, you got two. So you have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. So for some of you, this is literally about new beginnings that are changing your life entirely. It's new options, new potentials, things that are, again, in gestation. Some of you, again, you may be finding out that you're pregnant. That's a possibility here. But there's a lot of movement here. With the Ace of Wands, this is about breathing new life into situations, even if you're uncertain about the direction you're going in, not knowing which direction what you're dealing with, but still bringing life into it, accepting what you have to do to get to the next phase, but doing so with happiness, doing so with excitement, and I'm ready to do it, With the Ace of Pentacles, this is about slow building new potentials, new situations that give you stability, new homes, new jobs, again, new job, moving, that type of situation. I know that's not for every single Leo, but for whom it resonates with, it is. I can't make this for everybody. This is a general reading, and I can't make it for everybody. So whoever resonates with it, and if you resonate with one little bit of it, then so be it. But nobody's going to resonate with every single word, okay? Because it's not a personal reading. So let's see here. The Page of Cups also is about new friendships, new connections, people who you feel easy with, not easy slutty, but just comfortable with. It's extending the olive branch, just new connections, new happiness. It's feeling courageous in certain ways where you may have not been feeling empowered before on an emotional level, and it's feeling better about yourself. It's also talking about creativity as well. So some of you may be needing to incorporate more creativity into your experience. I was getting a message in some of the other readings about like art therapy. Some of you may be looking into that or might want to look into that. What else here? I feel like that was there. Yes. Give me one for the Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. Yeah, the Four of Wands. So this situation, if you are moving towards a situation or you're like finding a different job or just whatever it is, I feel like it's movement. It brings you what you want. It restabilizes the situation. Here we have a situation where we're moving away from something with the Wheel of Fortune, the world, with the King of Wands, King of Wands, Queen of Wands. You have a couple here, and which it doesn't mean that, it's just fire signs. It is your sign though, Leo, Aquarius, Sagittarius, but you have two people who are in tandem with this Four of Wands in reverse and the Four of Wands upright. This is talking about, to me, whatever you're initially leaving here, you're going to make it over and do far better in this next phase. This has to go though, And what I feel here too is with both parties, the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, there's a lot of positivity here. If anything, we have a very dynamic couple, people who feel connected together, people who feel like they, very positive, very forward thinking, very, you have a lot at your fingertips. Even if you don't see it, there's magic in your hands, okay? So again, here's this like creativity aspect that keeps knocking on my door. It's like, okay, how do I start to manifest creativity? Where do I put my creative juices to flow? How do I do that? Some of you, this is also a situation with the King of Cups in reverse where you need to, some of you, it's about not drinking anymore. I don't know if that is through pregnancy. I don't know if that's just a situation that you drinking and drugging no longer are effective for you in your life. And so it's taking courage to move away from that energy. It's taking courage to basically, essentially be on board with your own healing and don't self-sabotage here. Give me one for the Fool in reverse. So for the Fool in reverse, you have the Knight of Wands. I expected nothing less. Now with the Knight of Wands, it's kind of interesting just because in reverse, especially with the Fool in reverse, this is all about reckless behavior. Yes, it can be a Casanova, somebody who doesn't give a shit. If that's your situation, that may be your situation. Some of you, you're going to have people who have treated you poorly, juggled you and whatnot. I feel that this is more of a situation between a couple where you're starting to move forward towards something that you're both it's a change in your life. It's the next phase in your relationship, and it's a positive one. But we have to cut this type of energy out, which is specifically why it's under the world. This is about cutting out things that no longer serve you, being done with situations of this nature. Don't go against that. Okay, this is kind of like nip it in the bud now, because if you bring it along, it's going to cause a lot of problems for you in the future, Leo. The Knight of Wands and the Fool in reverse is totally about reckless behavior. It's about over partying, overspending, over drinking. It's talking about too much sex, sex with the wrong type of people. It's about self-sabotage energy, self-sabotage. It's, thinking poorly about ourselves, not trusting our potential. It is not moving forward because we think we're not either worthy of the change or we're not worthy of experiencing something more or stepping into our own potential and power. It's staying within fear. But more so than anything, it's a very reckless behavior. And for that, we have the Nine of Wands at the bottom of the deck, which is talking about creating boundaries within this type of energy. Boundaries where we're not revisiting this type of bullshit energy, where we essentially fuck ourselves over. If this is not dealing with somebody else, this is an internalized energy here. Okay? Don't fuck yourself over. So let's go ahead and get a oracle thingy. An oracle thingy. All right, here we go. So we are going to use the Crystal Wisdom deck. Show me what Leo needs to hear. What does Leo need to hear? So you have Flint. All right, so Flint. Flint, portal power. Flint stabilizes energy and cuts through to the core of issues, clearing blockages and loosening ties. It opens portals to other worlds and hidden aspects of yourself. You are a person with profound inner depths. Do not be afraid to explore this hidden side. It contains treasure beyond knowing, together with attitudinal karma and repressed emotions affect well-being. Flint connects you to your ancestors. A natural traveler, you know how to negotiate the shamanic underworld to obtain healing insights. Strengthen your boundaries, cut through confusion to the core of the matter. Soul retrieval is necessary if you left any part of yourself in another life or an abusive childhood experience. An unwelcome visitor from the past can be left behind, but recognize lessons before you move on. Paying attention to energetic boundaries and core strength, cutting detrimental ties, and strengthening your connection to the planet maintains well-being. Okay, so it's talking also about if you, let's see, an unwelcome visitor from the past can be left behind, but recognize lessons before you move on. Now that could be taken as a person, and it can also be taken as personal aspects of yourself. So if you have stuff that is kind of mucking up your potential and movement in life, things that we've learned about love and learned about ourselves and, things that we believe about ourselves that really aren't true, things that get in our own way, things that get us out of alignment with our own potential, it's time to address those things, And if you're dealing with somebody from your past, that's a possibility too. But what I'm feeling is that there's going to need to be a overall shift because something here, Leo and partner, is happening very positively. It's a big change, though. It's going to require you both to work on things together. It's going to require you both to basically cut out things that are problematic to you on personal levels, and that's going to be different for each person. Drinking, drugging, whatever it is, lazy time, being a slothful person. I'm not religious, but, I understand what it's like to love a couch and a bag of potatoes. So, potato chips, but basically you want to make sure that you're not doing that because that's going to essentially get in the way of how you move forward towards your next phase. Okay. So I hope this reading was helpful for you. And for the singles, if you've made it through this far through the reading, I know I didn't do any clarifications on your reading. I don't feel I needed to. And I'll be honest about that. I hope you don't feel cheated or slighted, but I didn't feel like I needed to do any clarifications. It was a very very clear message that came through. So if you're a single person out to mingle, be careful about people who are kind of, predatory, or people who are over talking themselves. Like there's some telltale signs of like narcissistic energy, or, people who, that Knight of Wands in reverse energy. It's the people who are kind of players. Be careful about those. So, all right, I'm going to let it go here. If this was helpful for you, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you choose to donate, there is a link in the description box below. And I will see you in December. All right, Leo, take care. Bye-bye.